Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. I guess straight off about what is going on with the Gacha gaming world or the games I play world. The very exciting thing is NF5 has just been released. The cards look amazingly gorgeous. I've not yet read the story. Which I do need to at some point. I talked about this before when I talked about where does the path of thorns lead to or something, which ended up becoming big enough that it was a meme which actually expanded out past the circles. But anyway, the Project Sakai circles. But hello everyone, right now in Fawnhallow, it's 3:40 p.m. on Saturday, November 30th, 2024. But yeah, I haven't actually read the new story yet. It looks like it's very hopeful. It looks like it's going to be very heartwarming, which I'm excited for. So yes, I will read it. I'm not sure when exactly I'm going to read it. At some point I will. But what am I going to talk about today? You know what I'm going to talk about today is the fact that I feel like I've kind of now properly sort of moved over to Blue Sky. You might have noticed now, if you pay this much attention, it would be crazy, in Dear Darling, the videos from now on are going to be featuring my Blue Sky instead of my Twitter. You know, the whole, if you've lived under a rock, Twitter's kind of imploded ever since someone, you might have heard of him, called Elon Musk, has bought it. And apparently a very recent thing, which I did not realise, is that there is a non-opt-outable thing with Twitter where your stuff that you upload can be used to train AI. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I didn't really want that. I understand there is a thing, there's a sort of implicit risk because, you know, people can just, if you upload anything like art or whatever, anywhere, people can just, you know, take it and scalp it and use it, scrape it, sorry, not scalp it, and use it for AI training models. And there's not really much you can do about it, except for, I know there's some people can do that sort of hashing thing on top of the AI or whatever. But, you know, there's an inherent risk. Obviously, if I didn't want anything I created to ever be scraped to potentially use in AI training, then I guess the option would be to never upload anything. Well, and I don't really want that. But at least I'm not going to upload it to a platform which doesn't let you opt out of it, which is pretty crazy. So I basically sort of, you know, deleted a lot of the art posts on my Twitter. I don't really use Twitter in the first place, to be honest. But I feel like now it's okay, this is a good sign, but I should probably move over to Blue Sky, properly. So I've done that. I made a Blue Sky account. It's Dear Darling. It was going to be Dear Darling. Someone already took Dear Darling, it turns out. Unlike on Twitter, where the person who has the Dear Darling username has been non-existent for years and years. But at least didn't have to put random 2 on the name or something. But yeah, hopefully with that, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to start using it all that much yet, because I didn't use Twitter a huge amount, at least while posting things. Twitter's a good thing, or used to be a good thing, for browsing through idly here and there, but, you know, I feel like a lot of the creators on it as well are also sort of migrating over, and I'm just kind of well, you know, as with most social media goes, those, you know, it's something about the community moving to where the creators move. Not all the time, mind you. You need a lot of creators to be able to just sort of move over. It's not they'll just do it just like that. But if you have a lot of creators moving house, then people are going to follow them, right? If they're part of a if they're part of a community, and they are invested, you know, it's often the ones which have the most investment move first, and then the medium ones, and then the lesser ones who are just sort of here and there. So with that, at least that's kind of my plan, to slowly start following all the creators which I follow on Twitter on other platforms as well, so I don't actually end up needing to bother too much with the fact that Twitter is slowly dying. But yeah, it's kind of happening. It's interesting. We're sort of I think, is this the first death of a social media that I've sort of followed and seen come and go? I don't know. Maybe. It's it's interesting, at least to say the very least. Because I'm trying to think, like, what social medias have come and gone in the past within my lifetime, probably. Like, MySpace is a big one, but I was definitely too young to be using MySpace when it was actually, like, a thing. Um, I mean, like, I was too young to be using Facebook when it was, like, popping off, but don't tell anyone. I made a Facebook account anyway. Um, or maybe I made it when I was 13, which might be the minimum age, so maybe that might not actually be true, now I think about it. Um, I mean, Facebook's kind of died, but Facebook's also basically just what I use now to be like the social equivalent of LinkedIn, where it's just like, oh, maybe if I want to, see what my friends from like primary school are doing or something, will be on there. I mean, no one actually posts on there anymore, so I guess that doesn't really work. But it's like theoretically this could be happening. Um, but no, I guess I didn't really think about it. Facebook's basically kind of DOA. I mean, it's still got like some sense of popularity, I think, with maybe some of the much older generation. Because I guess that's one good thing about Facebook, which I'm not going to, be on here remarking about particularly many, is at least it ended up being one which sort of transcended a lot of generational gaps, didn't it? But yeah, I mean, I guess Snapchat kind of like died as well, but that one's a bit strange to me because I feel like Snapchat's such a pretty like good social media. Well, I'm not sure social. It's a good messaging platform in a sense, right? Simple, just like send a pic and then boom, that's it. you might be like, why didn't you be the one to revive Snapchat? The answer is I don't really care that much about reviving Snapchat or anything. Snapchat can do what it does. Like I have my good memories from it, but at the same time, like there was a point where it started becoming a replacement messaging service. At least when I was using it, like I would send like this snap, well, like not like I'd probably try and keep a snap streak because I didn't really care that much about it, but like I would converse with a friend, and then like we were doing it on Snapchat, and then it was just like it's really got quite difficult remembering what he said in his message, and then me being like, okay, I had to take 5 different conversation threads we had going on at the same time, and I had to like read each one in like 2 seconds, commit it to memory, and then respond, and then there's no record of it. So then we moved back to WhatsApp. Well, Snapchat's good for just like sharing random things, That's kind of like the vibe I get with Snapchat's being like, oh, you see something random on a walk, it reminds you of someone, boom, send them a snap of it, and then you can just be like, yeah, that's what came to mind, thinking of you, that sort of thing. So I liked the convenience of it in that sense. I guess Dig died technically within my lifetime, but I was definitely way too young to be using Dig. Like, I didn't use Reddit until, which is currently my social media, I suppose, vice, if anything. But I didn't use Reddit until I was like in university time, sixth form time. Probably sixth form time. So that would have put me at like 17 or something. Reddit had been out for a while by that point. Like, didn't Reddit start like 2006 or something? So 17 would have been, what, 2014? So it would have been out for like 8 years? Is that right? I don't know. Anyway, but the long and short of it was the fact that I didn't actually use Reddit until then. Like, I think I told this story before, but the whole reason I used Reddit was at my sister's recommendation. Because I wanted to watch, no joke, the newest episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. So now I think about it, that probably would have put me, because I think that was season 3 or season 4, so that would have put me like GCSE, like 16, 15-ish. So, okay, no, I did use it like somewhat earlier than I thought I did. It was not sixth form, because I stopped watching it with that. So it probably would have been 14. Now I think about it. That makes sense. And I wanted to watch a new episode, and I was like, oh, no, the site I normally go to doesn't have it, like, there or whatever. I was like, why didn't you just go to Reddit? Reddit probably has it there. And I was like, all right, let's see if that's true or not. And Reddit did. So that's about it. But there's no more to that story because I don't have any more to the story. But it's interesting to see these social media sort of giants coming forward. I'm like, if anything, fascinating in a way if you try and sort of remove yourself from being in the present. Like, imagine if you were studying it in history or something, be like, what caused this company to fail or something? Imagine you're watching like a video essay of it. I mean, I feel like it just like is in such a spectacular way. The way that Twitter sort of like collapsed in on itself is incredible. Like, people thought it would happen to Reddit like a while back, but then Reddit's still kind of holding on strong despite all the like anti-consumer sort of things they put in. But one that reminds me of the most is the fact that a Reddit app, they ended up like basically forcing you to use the actual Reddit app and very few other ones. But to be fair, I'm still using a third party one called, what's it called? Red Reader, because it's meant to be an accessibility based one or something. And I just got pretty used to it, to be honest. I don't know if the official Reddit app is better now, but it makes me sad because I miss it. I miss Relay for Reddit. I think that was the one what I used called, mainly because it had the coloured comment layers, made things so much easier to sort of follow through and understand what was going on. Anywho, yeah, I don't know, like social media like, hold on, let's see. Social media sites. Like what other ones have come and gone? Oh, Pinterest is a very interesting one because Pinterest is sort of dying mainly because of the advent, ironically, I suppose, of AI artwork. At least, like, I used to go on Pinterest to be like a mood board. If you didn't know what it was like an image aggregator. You search things and it would just like bring you up a load of images related to the thing. So it was really good for just being like, I'm trying to ideate or something. But now it's just like a huge, for one, the thing I found most annoying about Pinterest is the fact that you couldn't actually click on the images without having an account. And it would like sometimes like give you a pop-up which you couldn't close. And I was like, oh, this is just too much of a pain. I don't know if I actually want to sign up for Pinterest or anything. But now it's just chock filled of AI art, which I remember reading a thing that AI art, because it's training on scraped images from the internet, is now training itself more also on the flood of AI art. So it's sort of like an Ouroboros of, you know, provided prompts and drawings from a computer's best imagination of what something could look like, which is fascinating to say the least. Because it's not like AI art is not good. Like, I mean, it's like in the technical sense, I guess it's good, but it's also got one, no heart and soul, and two, it doesn't have much of any direction over its technical sense. It's just the same way that like AI text generators are just guessing, kind of. I mean, that was like a gross simplification, but it's guessing based off patterns of like what makes sense, what would seem reasonable to go there, probabilistically. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a thing with art, that art is, at least from my perspective, a lot of art is defined by the emotions and story behind it necessarily, which kind of gets avoided with AI art. So I guess, really, like, the thing I say with AI art, I don't know, we're going to delve into it so much, but the thing which it ends up, like, replacing are, you know, is like those corporate imagery things, which didn't have much of an art motivation behind them, I suppose, in the first place. Much more they are there to fill space, which is like, okay, I guess. But yeah, I don't know, very, very fascinating, sort of, from a dystopian sense, what's going on. Anyway, the whole point of it, Twitter, crashing, burning, moving to Blue Sky. I had a Blue Sky art account for a while, but I just, like, never posted anything on it. Now I've got a Blue Sky actual, like, Dear Darling one, which I've yet to do. But that is, like, I don't know. It's just kind of cool to ride the trend, I suppose, of a new one. Of a new trend coming along, right? A new social media, well, not new social media, but Blue Sky's been out for a while, especially when the Twitter announcement first happened, I think. I think there's Threads as well, which was a thing. I don't really remember if Threads really popped off or anything. Oh, you know, what's that Google social media they had? Google... It's not called Google Circles, is it? It's Google something. Google, Hangouts? Is that right? Google Meet? Google social media. It closed down, like, immediately. Google Plus. That was it. I remember, if you don't remember this happened, I'm looking at this, 2011-ish. Wow, 13 years ago. But Google made their own social media platform. But Google is very good at making new product and then never giving it any support and then shutting it down because it gives it no support. But it was meant to be Google's sort of like social media site or whatever. But like, if I recall, it was also like you could only join it on like an invitation based basis or something to begin with. which I think is technically how MySpace worked to begin with, but MySpace didn't have a lot of competition. Google Plus has a lot of competition. So then a lot of people couldn't even end up interacting with a social media in the first place. I never even used it. I never even got it because I was like, I don't even know how to get it, to be honest. And then wasn't it also a thing you had to leave YouTube comments because you had to link it to your Google Plus account, which is crazy. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if it ever really popped off. Vine, that's another sort of social media which shut down. Mainly because it was unprofitable, right? And it's now been replaced with TikTok, which I guess must be super profitable with selling of data or something is my guess, but I don't know. It's fascinating, isn't it? Seeing where social medias come and go. Seeing these trends come and go. It kind of makes you wonder. I'm like, in 15 years. Like, if you asked me, 5 years ago, I'd be like, what social medias will still be around? I'd be like, Twitter's got to be one of them. Still going to be ever prevalent, and I was like, probably at that time, I'd be like, Reddit's probably going to be overtaken by something else. I think YouTube's going to be around for a long while. Because obviously, I guess, you can kind of say now nothing's particularly safe. That social medias can die just by, who knows, a host of different reasons. But if I were to make a bet on the current social medias, which are going to last the longest, I feel like YouTube and Instagram both have a pretty good shot. It's hard to imagine them failing at the moment. YouTube is kind of hard to imagine failing because it's so hard to compete in its space, right? Because video hosting is insanely expensive. Doesn't YouTube lose money or something based off of video hosting? It does. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. It might do, it might not do. So it's hard to imagine YouTube being dethroned at any point. And Instagram, I don't know. I guess it's just so, it's almost too big to fail. I feel like at this point, but that can't possibly be true. I don't even use Instagram all that much, so maybe I got to start getting on the wave or something. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I guess on that note, I'm going to round this episode off here. Just sort of I don't know. Migrating to bluer skies is such a great title for this episode. It almost sounds like a Project Sakai event title. Anyway. If you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord, including Blue Sky, down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.